I hit the button. Okay, I did. Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I'm back with another obscure 80s movie. This one is Fear No Evil. Now, one of the nicest things about the 80s and the horror movie market, they talk about horror movies are really prevalent now too, but I mean, you don't hear about them that much unless you're on the internet and stuff like that. They used to publicly, well, I mean, in the 80s and stuff, that was the year of the drive and stuff like that, and they used to heavily publicize a lot of these films. And Fear No Evil was no different. I mean, the ad campaign was like this crazy basket dodgeball thing. This kid in high school, he was like the Omen. I mean, it's like an Omen type spinoff. And it looked really cool. And I wanted to see it. Of course, I wasn't able to see it. I mean, I was too. It came out in '81. I wouldn't have been allowed to see it. And then years later, it was a Canadian film. I know that the ad for it is really cool because they had like a yearbook picture of the guy possessed. I took a little bit of a screenshot of that and said like this one Alexander High 1981 Andrew. All these kids are going to hell. Andrew sent them there, and I mean I thought it'd be all set in high school and stuff like that. And I did talk to one guy that saw the movie. I can't remember who it was, and he said it wasn't anything like the ad or anything like that. And I remember seeing it on City TV, and it was a lot different than what I thought it was. But I think I liked it, and then my curiosity got. They started talking about it on the Dogs of the Week on Cisco Nico. I watched a whole bunch. My curiosity got piqued, and again, I did look on YouTube. It's free on YouTube. It said rare on VHS. Because I remember it was through Avco Embassy. When I did see it, it was City TV, which was like, we didn't have cable at the time in the 80s because they didn't come out to our location. Now cable's everywhere. But I mean, they didn't come out to where we are in the country and stuff at the time. And Canadian TV, well, I mean, that's back when we rented videos. We rented videos. That was our cable. And then, Canadian TV, and they would usually show movies uncut. And they did have Fear No Evil on there, and it looked completely different than the ad campaign. And there's TV spots on there. You can see that basketball game. But it's a very bizarre film. It revolves around Lucifer, going down in these three archangels supposed to hunt him down and kill him. And they show like a little bit of that at the beginning with this guy named Father Daly. Now, Father Daly was actually our priest when I was little, St. Lawrence Center and stuff like that. Father Daly was actually the name of the priest we had for a while, and then he left. I can't remember the other guy's name. I remember Father Daly. He actually came to our house to see if we were, because Mom wanted to put Jody and I in catechism, and he had to talk to us a little bit first or something like that. I remember I was watching Far Out Space Nuts. Show you how long ago that was. With Chuck McCann and Bob Denver, which I was a big fan of. One of the Sid and Marty Krofft shows. I guess he talked to us or something. Like he was at the house that one time. But the father died, who I knew. And catechisms for Catholic, I mean, it's like Sunday school on Saturday mornings would suck because I want to see cartoons. And then we end up getting out of it a few years later because something like happened, like the nuns. I had to buy. They said you had to buy flowers for the nuns or the church or something like that. And my dad, when I went up to the nun, and said, I just got laid off from my job. I can't really afford it. And then the nun said, well, can your son afford to go to the school? And then that was it. My dad took us out and he said, he set me and Jody aside. He said, I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to go to catechism anymore. I was ecstatic. I wanted to stay home and watch cartoons. I mean, sometimes catechism was fun because they actually played. There was actually a time when they had played cartoons in the class, and they actually played H.R. Puffin stuff, believe it or not, with Twitchy Poo in it. And they had like a penny carnival thing. It wasn't. I mean, it was weird because I was sick during second grade. I was held back a year in catechism, not in regular school, in catechism, because it went from kindergarten to sixth grade or first grade to sixth grade. I can't remember, but that's how it was at kindergarten. or it was first grade. I can't remember. I mean, it went forever, but it was for a few grades. She held me back one because I didn't do communion, and communion was real easy. I remember my sister never had at my grandmother's. Like I said, it wasn't always bad at my grandmother's. We had church, and my sister wanted to do communion, and I told her how to do it, and she went up and done communion. You know, so I was held back one year now, not in regular school, just catechism, and you know, I mean, we were there for a few years and stuff like that, and Dad said, you know, I'm not gonna be able to do it. I think it was from like 9 to 11 in the morning, and it was the pain. But it wasn't always bad. And then they had like the St. Lawrence Center would have like stuff on Saturday afternoons where they'd have. My dad said this never happened, and it did. Where our babysitter would take us to St. Lawrence, and they'd play a movie. It'd be like you know, $1.50, something like that, and the lunch or the meal would be like sloppy joes with potato chips and pop, and you go up and get pop and a bag of popcorn, whatever. And they'd play a movie like Barefoot Executive or Fun and Fancy Free, the one with Edgar Bergen. That's one they don't show that much anymore. Or they had the Errand Boy, but then the nuns got all the reels mixed up. You know, and that was fun. Dad said they never did. They never did. Yes, they did. And Jody was taking there, but I think my sister was so little back then. But I'm getting off track now. Oh, God, it's 6. Getting off track. I mean, that was catechism, right? Well, anyways, in the movie, I mean, they were at the beginning. The guy said, "I'll be back." The devil character. I mean, he had like this cool cross, and that was a neat prop though in the movie. And then you know he went like this. He stamps, "I'll be back. I'll be back." And then you see like this one husband and wife. Just had a baby, and the baby was real fussy. I don't like seeing babies cry. The baby was crying. And it turned out to be the character like that. He wanted to have baptism, and then, you know, and then it didn't work out. I mean, you know, and then it was like, this baby's tearing us apart, and then you see 18 years later, and the kids in high school and stuff, they made the movie look like it's all in high school. Like, I was a teenage Damien or something like that. But a lot of it didn't happen there. And then it said, like, the advocate said, yeah, that Andrew's a rebel, he's an outcast, he's, and stuff like that. I mean, he was a loner, though. I mean, just, he was a little bit weird, but, I mean, the teachers loved him because he was a straight A student. He was at the guidance counselor said, like, you're getting all these offers, all these colleges, man. You'd be happier than what you are and stuff like that. The teacher, female teacher guy, she probably would have had sex with him. She was so happy with him. But a lot of it's like melodramatic. And then when they do have a soundtrack, they have a punk rock soundtrack, but it's played down. It doesn't really, they don't really do enough with it. When he did the soundtrack for Return of the Living Dead or Party Animal, they really made it a part of the movie. This one, it's kind of a part of the movie, you know, but they have like this Patty Smythe in it. They had Richard Hell did a song in there. They had the Anarchy in UK. They had I Hate Mondays from Boomtown Rats in there. Psycho Killer from Talking Head, that was cool. They had like this hoodlum. It's supposed to be a takeoff of Vinnie Barbarino, I think, from Welcome Back Carter. He had a gun and stuff like that. I mean, that was kind of interesting, but it's played down so much. And then when they have the regular score, it's like a very melodramatic piano score. It's just kind of, it's just played down so much. And a lot of the movies, like one old lady's reincarnated monk or something like that, sent down to try to get the world loose for. And this one girl from high school, I guess she becomes reincarnated with a spirit and stuff like that. They want to, I mean, it doesn't, and it's, I mean, you know, try to get rid of, but the guy doesn't really do a whole lot until like in the middle of the movie they show like the dodgeball scene, which was great. I mean, if they would have went full force with that or made it like over the top, it could have been a lot of fun because it had a decent budget. The budget was almost $1 million. This was 81, mind you. And there's a scene where, you know, the guy, like, he calls everybody real fast, and then Andrew comes out, he goes, And the coach goes, "You're 54 minutes late. Over there, 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups." And he played dodgeball, and the guy's screaming, "Kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him." And the guy's nuts. The coach is nuts. And then you see the guy Andrew starts, and then he gets possessed like this. And the guy takes the dodgeball and says, "Kill that son of a bitch." He went like this. And then the guy, Andrew, made the dodgeball fly real fast. He crushed the guy and he killed him. And then the coach was like, "Oh, no, 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 no." If the whole movie would have been crazy like that one scene, it would have been a great movie. But no. That was probably the best scene in the movie. And that's the scene that got highlighted in a lot of the commercials. That's why most people wanted to see it. And most of it's not set in school. And then, like, in the middle of the movie, they say, like, every year that the town puts on some, like, Easter story about the resurrection. And I guess that's when everything was going to go down, if it did go down. And, I mean, the kid really didn't do that much. I mean, he did he killed a dog which I didn't like. And he had him all ultra drinking, blah, blah. I mean, he only drank a little bit, but he was like that. He was a wuss. And then when it was his time to shine, whenever that whole thing happened, and the whole confrontation was going to go down, he kind of turned into like a lame version of Dracula. He was at this one place. He goes, "My minion, please rise up." I mean, he talked like, he didn't talk like Paul Bear, but he talked really, really lame and turned to, and all these zombies came, which was kind of neat, but they didn't really do anything that much with the zombies. They didn't make it menacing enough. There was no build up to it. And he just turned into like a lame Dracula with makeup on. And then that one lady and that girl were trying to fit. They had like that cross that had like to shoot out the lights. And he shot the lights at the guys like this. It looked like he had a cape like blah, 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 like Dracula. It was so lame. I mean, whenever Sam Neill was the Damien movies. I mean, Damien, the second Omen movie, which I didn't see till later in Germany, was set in school. I don't know if it was high school or not like that. That was really good. This one, I mean, they said the main thing was set in high school, but they didn't have that many scenes in high school. It was just lame. And then whenever they had, they did have some effects at the end. They looked kind of cool. I mean, they were very dated by today's standards. But they did look neat, and then they had a really cool ending. They had a Fear No Evil song, and that song was really cool. If they would have really went with the punk rock soundtrack, it could have been a fun 80s movie. This was just a big mess. It was all over the place. There was no build up. The good guys were boring, and then Lucifer's character was boring, and they underplayed. They made him look like a complete wuss. And then one scene when he's supposed to get back to the girl, he was just on a swing standing up, and he made like a tree drop fall on the lady, kind of, and he just ran away and go, blah, 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 blah. It was stupid. I mean, I thought, I couldn't remember if I liked the movie when I saw it on City TV, but I remember, boy, it was a lot different from the ad on TV. And then my curiosity got back to remember if I liked the movie or not. I barely remember it. Yeah, it's a complete mess. If it would have went with that scene, the basketball scene is great, and the soundtrack is kind of neat. The ending soundtrack is cool. I mean, but the score was just like this melodramatic piano stuff that went against the punk rock stuff. It was just whole conflict of moods. It should have set a good mood. I mean, the high school. I mean, it was in a high school somewhat, but not enough for it to really matter. And it seemed like the kids knew of Andrew, but they didn't really bug him that much. He stepped in the shower scene. That was a weird scene. But I mean, I think that was influenced by Carrie, but I mean, it wasn't very good. Yeah, Fear No Evil is a real disappointment in the movie, because when I first saw it, it looked like it'd be really cool. And he said, yeah, Fear No Evil scared the devil out of you. Won't scare anything out of you, except your $2. Now I sound like Siskel and Ebert. I mean, so even when Roger said it had a lot of slick things going on and stuff like that, but now I don't recommend it at all. I give it a 3 out of 10. I mean, the basketball, if you get a chance to see, they have just a basketball scene by itself. I think or not the basketball, the dodgeball scene. I think that's worth watching. They made the very end effects are kind of neat. And then, I mean, if you can hear the Fear No Evil song, that was cool. All the other songs you can find, elsewhere. But whenever they had, I thought it was a cool use of the soundtrack. Whenever they had the one kid bring out that gun that was like the thug, like the Vinnie Barbarino type. But he was a bad guy though, and they played Psycho Kill. I thought it was kind of cool. I mean, but there wasn't enough cool stuff in there. And there was a part where Andrew was like on top of this fire escape looking. They played Anarchy in UK. That was cool, but I mean, they didn't do anything with it though. They could have been a fun movie, over the top movie, and it's just lame. And I mean, they made him into a lame Dracula character. I mean, Sam Neill was menacing in The Omen. The kid was, I mean, he was menacing though. And then when they had the final conflict, well, that was 2 years after Fear No Evil came out. I mean, he was really mad. He went to politics, and that's even worse. But I mean, it was cool. I liked the movie. But boy, I didn't like Fear No Evil at all. I thought I would like it. I watched it again. It's like, boy, no wonder I didn't remember this movie, or was kind of disappointed by it. So I give it a 3 out of 10. So there you have it for my review of Fear No Evil. Well, I went in talking about Catechism and stuff like that, I mean, Catechism wasn't all bad, but I mean, I just want to be a kid. I mean, cause people, this time they go to, and I felt like an outsider. They said, Saturday school, we go to Sunday school. But I mean, it was just weird. I think it was kindergarten to 6th grade or kindergarten to 5th grade. But like I said, I got held back 1 year because Mom said, I'm holding you back because you didn't do communion. Communion was really easy. I mean, but I don't think my mom, whatever. I mean, and they teach you confession and stuff. Like, confession is more complicated than the communion was. Communion was easy. Oh, well. But it was a cool moment because my sister said she remembered when that my grandma taught her how to do communion. We didn't dare tell Grammy that my sister never did communion before. She did communion unofficially. We didn't dare tell Grammy about that. But I mean, I showed her how to do it. It's no big deal. Or maybe we were at church by ourselves. I can't remember. But there you have our review of Fear No Evil, or my review of Fear No Evil. So I hope you like this movie, everybody. Till next time, please take care, my legion. A real oddball of a movie, but I mean, it's just like there's a movie called The Tempter, which I had a hell of a time seeing, and it looked like it was very menacing spoof on The Exorcist, or not spoof, but version of The Exorcist. I remember finally renting it and watching it a couple times. I don't remember it at all. I can't remember if I liked it or not, but I don't know if I'll bother watching it again because it's not a memorable movie. I think I liked it, but I don't know. Some of those were like that. And then there was movies that were infamous for being bad, like House of Exorcism and stuff like that. All these different spoofs. Well, I saw House of Exorcism. The ending stuff was okay, but it just goes back between Elkie Summer being possessed and just a bunch of talking. Well, they re-edited. There's a whole bunch of different edited versions of that movie. I don't know if I feel like going back to that one. I had it on tape and I taped over it. I don't know. That's my review on Fear No Evil that almost lasted 19 minutes. Oh, well, I might as well go to the 19 minutes I mentioned. So I hope you like this review, everybody. Oh, until next time. See, I get to talking sometimes. A lot to talk about. It's a crazy movie. So until next time, everybody, please take care of my legion.